All right. Good morning, everybody. All right, let's see what the market brings us. Okay, so looking at pre-market and looking at the different 5 things that I look for each and every morning. I most likely will look for a trade on the SPY. So let's go through our 5 things. First thing is the news. In my opinion, this is bearish this morning. I think this will negatively impact the market today. Why? Because of Powell. So he's got some stuff going on today, and typically the market doesn't react well to him. Elliott Wave, let's start to talk about that and take a look at where we're at daily on the Elliott Wave. So here we go as far as that is concerned. Okay, now again, this is just my opinion. You might completely and utterly disagree with me. But according to the daily of the Elliott Wave, I think we have February 16th was the ultimate high. Then we had an ABC correction, in my opinion. And then that was closed out when we had a new high. So now we are entering into in my opinion, a bullish 5-wave sequence. So we have wave 1 here, as you can see, going on up to even a new high all the way up there. Now, the stock market doesn't go up forever. So in 5 waves, the first wave, you have a big move upwards. In the second wave, you have a pullback. And I think we saw that pullback going into Friday at the end of Friday. And it pulled back here. Monday started off a new wave, maybe. Now, it's tough to know if we're going to go back down. We got some negative news and some different things. So there's no rule saying that we have to go upwards here. But I think that's where we're going. And I think that's what the Elliott Wave is suggesting. But I am still being cautious at this point. So yesterday was a great day. Interest yields dropped, and there was lots of good stuff. So as far as the Elliott Wave is concerned, in my opinion, is still bullish. So we have the first thing bearish, which is the news. We have the Elliott Wave, which is bullish, in my opinion, at this moment. Okay, so setting up a successful trade. Here we go. The next thing is the 10-year yields. Okay, so 10-year yields. How are we looking this morning on the 10-year yields? Well, the 10-year yields are pretty much flat and a little lower. Now, that is good. Lower yields usually indicates a higher market day. So on the 10, we are lower. On the 30, we are lower. So both of those are bullish in my opinion. So that gives us 3 bullish. And then I have my price and volume indicator, which I typically don't get till around 10 minutes after market open. I think that one is key this morning. I think seeing where the level 2 is kind of going on that. I have that automated, a service that I pay for. It's very expensive, but I do it because it helps me to make money on the stock market, and that is the #1 way that I make my money, is by trading stocks. And so I will be looking for probably an options call this morning, but I'm still not sure. It's a very weak options call. The market could go in either direction, so definitely going to wait for the first 10 minutes of market open before making a decision and going either direction. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Let's talk in the live stream. Where do you think the market's heading? Hey Miles, how's it going? It's good to see you be back. I'm glad that you're a part this morning. I started going live about a week ago. So this is something rather new, and doing it for a morning day trade, and then also any Q&A on insiders or any other stocks that you might want to look at. It's just something fun I'm kind of doing and going for. Okay, so short-term issues with trading BTC on a daily basis. Capital gains issues. Well, you know, at the end of the year, you're going to have to pay capital gains tax on what you made. And this is on the whole stock market. I believe it's exactly the same. I don't think it's any different. I have an accountant. I leave that to professionals, definitely. And they don't like how much I trade, but hey, that's how it is. So that's what I do. And I definitely pay capital gains tax my fair share. So I don't know. I don't know exactly what, you need to talk to a tax professional on that. I don't have a lot of knowledge on that, but I believe it's exactly the same with capital gains with BTC. Now let's take a look at Bitcoin this morning. Okay, Bitcoin is looking really, really bearish, in my opinion. We could be on the cusp of a Bitcoin correction. And I know we're up 1% today, but that 5% downward candle was no surprise because we had crossed into the negative on the daily. And so I kind of knew that that was happening. Also on the RSI, it way overheated here on the 13th of the month. And so that was an indicator. Hitting that high on the RSI was a sell trigger for a lot of people. And so this is no surprise to see that. When looking at Bitcoin or any stock for mid or long term, I like to, I do like to hold Bitcoin. I'm kind of changing my tune on that. I'm starting to pay attention to it. I've been doing some back testing, and I have a video coming out on it soon that you all might want to check out. And then also a new level of our Patreon group that's only going to be $7 a month, and where you get Bitcoin daily alerts on whether according to my trading system, whether it is going up or down. And right now I think it's going down. This is the direction I think it's going. It's way overheated. It's way too hot on the RSI. And you are starting to see that pullback, and I expect that to continue for it to become a good deal. And I think it could pull all the way back, definitely to 50,000. I think it could go even further. It might even go down to 45,000, and that would be a pretty serious pullback. But I could see it going back to this level and then catching support there. I could be completely wrong, and that's why I look at the indicators each and every day, because no one knows which direction it's going. All right, let's get back to the SPY and take a look and see what's going. We got a market open here. And hopefully we get our indicators soon. Well, first 10 minutes, just watching and seeing and watching and waiting and seeing what happens. I, of course, hope that the market goes up. Right at market open, I got a nice little bump, so that's really nice. Up almost 1% right at market open, so that's really great. Gotta love that. Okay, let's see what else we got going on here. So definitely going to wait the first 10 minutes because this is very mixed. News, I think, is bad. I think that's bearish. Elliott Wave, I think, is bullish. 10-year yields are bullish. 30-year yields are bullish. And price and volume is the thing I'm going to look for. So it's looking like a bull trade. But it's hard for me to make a bull trade when the market is, when we have Powell speaking. I get so nervous about that. But I think in the short term, this morning, we could see a nice, we could get a nice call option. So we'll wait and see what the price and volume brings. All right, let's take a look at some questions while we're waiting for this. Andrew, bullish market. I agree. I mean, the indicators are there. No one really knows where the market's going. But trying to guess the market this is a tricky game. There's sometimes you're going to be wrong. But if you're right 70-80% of the time, and you could take advantage of those levels, I think it's really important to have a strategy as far as that goes. Okay. You can definitely use stock tools on BTC. Absolutely. You sure can. You can use those tools for trading anything as long as you're using the right tools. So as far as MACD goes and RSI, they're important. Now, I know most Bitcoiners, most Bitcoin buyers are literally just buying Bitcoin and holding it forever and then occasionally panicking and selling. So you have a lot of new investors who don't who haven't controlled their emotions and don't understand which direction it's going trade irrationally. And so, just like anything, it's just like stocks too. I mean, there's lots of retail investors who do exactly the same thing. So far, the market is just kind of sitting there. All right. I had to those of you that are in our group and or have looked at the top 7, I have just found an exit point automatically on Tiptree. So let's take a look and see what I got for it. Not the best of trades, but today was the time to get beyond that particular one. And so I sold it for $7.64 was my average on that. And so that just filled. And so anyway, I have to set up these limits and market sells automatically because I'm in this, I'm taking a look at the SPY, and so I can't concentrate. I need to automate a little bit of my trading, at least until I get my son here working as my assistant this summer. So really looking forward to that. He's going to be back from college and teaching him the ropes on investing. And so that's going to be kind of fun. You might see him in some of my videos even. I have a plan for that. So anyway, looking forward to that. All right, so far we're getting a kind of a choppy morning, and that is normal. That is completely normal with how the market moves, and so that's not a surprise at all. Okay. Boy, it's so choppy. Look at that. That's just crazy. Lots of volume. I mean, look at all that volume. This is really, really great for volume. Yeah, and if any of you have any questions while we're waiting these 10 minutes, this is perfect. I won't look at any charts because I'm looking at this one currently. And when you're day trading, anything that you day trade, you need to focus on that particular stock. That is stock or option or whatever you're doing. I like to pay very close attention to it, watch the indicators, and then enter and exit based upon the indicators. And I try to take the decision making out of it. So right now we're 3 out of 5 bullish and 1 undecided. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what direction market is going to choose this morning. I imagine the NASDAQ's doing well, especially with bond yields down. So okay, so we are 5 minutes into the day, and we have a new high at 392.07, 392.10 now. So it appears the market's trying to make a jump for it and move upwards here. Still going to wait because now if we get a put option, if the indicators say bearish and we get a put option, then I will be looking for a put option on this based upon price and volume indicators. The best time to enter a put option, and this is kind of like one of my secrets, is right at an hour into the market open. So if it's put, a lot of times I will be super patient. Now we are getting a bullish, looks like a nice little bullish breakout. This would have been a nice entry point, but there was no way to know that this was gonna do this. So now we're looking bullish, and the market is moving upwards, which is very good for all my positions that I have. I have about 40 positions at a time on my Catalyst portfolio. I have a dividend portfolio also with another 21 positions that I literally just let sit there. And so anyway. Zach already up 10% in ADV. That is wonderful news. ADV is was a call out this morning on insider activity. Happened late last night. I was able to nab some shares at 11:36 this morning, and I was able to fill up on those, and so that's really good. So sitting 9% up in that one. I'm expecting a really nice run on ADV. Okay. Also, if you guys can hit that like button, I'd very much appreciate it. Looking like the market is going bullish. This is wonderful news, of course. But now I'm waiting for a pullback for an entry point, and I still have not gotten a price and volume indicator, which is pretty normal 8 minutes into the day. So what that indicator does is it looks at level 2 and level 3 data, and then it gives a recommendation based on the overall market. And so I like the SPY because the S&P 500 is the 500 top companies, and so at least according to them, I guess. And being included in the S&P 500 is a big deal, and so being a part of those 500 companies is really great. So. And also the volume is super high for options. If you're looking to options trade and you're looking to do a day trade on options, SPY is the way to do it. Okay. Now it's time for that pullback. Leaning towards a bullish trade this morning, even though the news is negative, which is not my favorite. It will, of course, depend upon the price and volume indicators. So we shall see what happens there. As part of my watch list that I have every day, 2 stocks that have just pulled up on my watch list as being ones that would be good to trade are PLUG, Plug Power, and another is Tilray for a day trade. So those are surging this morning. Well, maybe missed entry point, but you know, too risky. It's too risky to enter now because we have this separation here and this big green candle. The RSI is also getting overheated here, so I think a pullback is imminent. But I will look for a pullback here on the market. And so what I'm looking for is for this yellow line to pass below the blue line. These are 2 SMA lines. This is the MACD that's down here to those that are new and haven't seen this before. And then this is, of course, the RSI up here, kind of showing the minute by minute RSI. And there's that pullback we've been waiting for. Maybe. All right, so let's take a look at some of the bullish and bearish levels that I have. So far, looking for a bullish trade, in my opinion. And so the bullish levels are, the very first is going to be 392.50. We have not gotten to that level. Then after that, 392.97, 393.34, 393.72, and then resistance 1 is 394.45. That 394 level has been really, really pesky. So breaking it's kind of a big deal for the SPY right now. Resistance 2 is 396.31. Would absolutely love to see 396 today. I just think that would be pretty epic if we were indeed able to see that. Okay, have not taken a trade yet. Still have not gotten my price volume indicator, and being mixed like it is, I'm going to want to wait for that. Because if it's a put indicator, I may go bearish, not bullish. I don't like it when it's mixed, and I am nervous about the news, and I'm sure the market will be nervous about the news too. But loving this price action. Of course, I hope the market goes up. I am bullish on most of my trades, and looking at the, to those that missed it earlier, as far as looking at the Elliott wave, I think that at least on the SPY, we are about to go into wave 3. I think we close this out. I think so. Okay, so this could go downwards and the leg can continue downwards. So we really haven't broken this previous high. Breaking that previous high right there is key, that the market is moving upwards. And Wave 3 is typically a really nice long wave of bullish price action. So this is what we're looking for. 398.12 is what the SPY needs to pass in order to hit that. I would just absolutely love that if we saw something like that today. Okay, so we finally got our first crossover. Oh, nope, gotta wait for the whole thing to, boy, the bulls are fighting hard here. But see, it wouldn't have made sense, obviously, to buy up here. We'd be negative in the trade right now. It's inevitable to have a pullback. And so you wait for the pullback. We're waiting for the dip. We're going to let the dip form, and then we're going to buy that dip. And what I'm planning on doing is buying a call option on the dip, but still waiting for that indicator that I talk so much about. Can I explain what Powell meant? I don't know if he's already talked or not. I have not been paying attention to that. I've been working on my watch list this morning, getting all that ready. So I don't know if he's already spoke or when he's speaking today, but I know that he's supposed to, I believe he's supposed to talk, and he has a meeting with Congress today. So typically the market doesn't react well to that. So it's inevitable he'll say something that gets scrutinized. And it's not that he'll say something stupid. I mean, he's a very intelligent man. It's just that it'll be interpreted as, oh no, here comes interest rate and all that fear. And right now the VIX is at an ultimate low. And that's very bullish for the overall market. And so still waiting for this dip. Anyway, so I don't know what he meant. I don't know what he said. So, anyway. I'm sitting barely up on the market. Hopefully all of you are up this morning. I'm up a whopping 0.01%. Interesting price action on the market this morning. Okay. Well, I am not liking this setup. So if you don't get a good setup on a trade, it's best to skip it. And I'm not liking this setup at all. We will wait for a good setup. It's tough to be patient, but the stock market is the transfer of money from the impatient to the patient. And I'm going to wait this out. So in the meantime, if any of you have anything you want to talk about, bring up any kind of anything, let's talk. All right, now we're getting that dip. Starting to get this dip. So we'll let this dip down here, and then we'll wait for the recovery to happen. And once it does, we'll look for a trade. The market, the SPY specifically, likes to flash in the wrong direction of where it's going for the day, right at the beginning of the day. Don't know why it tends to have that typical movement, but let me double check. I'm going to double check these yields and see if they're still remaining the same, still bullish or not. So the 10-year is down a little bit, and so that's very bullish for the NASDAQ. The 30-year Treasury is down a little bit. That's also bullish for the NASDAQ. So it'll be bullish for the NASDAQ and the Russell 100 today. And so I think both those things are really, really good. So yeah, it's still good. So, okay, so now it appears that we are done forming our dip. Interesting. This has still not completed a candle. Okay, so I'm starting to take a look at the call options for the day. Taking a look at my calendar. Okay, so April 1st is what I'm looking at. That provide a little bit of safety. So waiting for this to pull back. Looking at call options, just kind of looking ahead of the different options that are there. The $394 call option is the most attractive to me. Looking at that, love the volume. I also love the spread and everything on it. So yeah, this is pulling back, so we're just going to have to wait this out, wait this pullback. The market has no idea what direction it's going this morning, which is never fun. Okay. Favorite stock to day trade? Well, with all the choppiness and everything going on, I like Tesla to day trade. I love how Tesla sets up so slowly. For me anyway. I think it's easy to read. I like the volume on it. That's when I like to day trade. I like to day trade stocks with news. So any kind of big news that I'm looking at, like for example, BNTC just reported that Morgan Stanley had raised stake. So my favorites to day trade are ones I can make money on, and so I like bullish news like that. And then I look for different levels and I map out levels and I trade them based upon that. In fact, let's take a look at good old BNTC. That's some really great news, and it's been doing well. This is a good stock to trade. Oh yeah, not a good morning for it. So, and simply waiting for the first 10 minutes is of course key, but this is very negative. But if we saw a positive cross down here and we saw it moved upwards, I like to trade above VWAP. That's one thing that I like. Let's go back to SPY because that's really what we're watching. But I don't know if I have a favorite. I'd have to say my favorite to trade is going to be day trading options on SPY, just like what I'm trying to do right now. But this is not working out so far. Tesla, good question. Let's take a look. I like good old Tesla. Let's take a look at man, EVs. When is the market tired of beating up EVs? Perfect entry point right here after this filled. So an entry point right at 669 would be ideal. I think that this is unreasonable. All of this movement on Tesla is unreasonable. Okay, so let's go to the daily. Let's see if it's starting to trend. Yes, it is, and it has been for a while. So if you were to swing trade this and you were looking for a longer term trade, if it were me, I would have entered right here, right around 695. That would have been my normal entry point there. Maybe here if I had the forethought and it was on my watch list active, and I would have got in maybe at 685, a little bit better. But typically we are looking at a good trend when we see this down here. So volume increasing, so on and so forth. I think that Tesla is a good one to do. So right now, if I was trading Tesla, it would be on call options. that I would trade it on. And the reason being is looking at the daily passing into the green like this, I would look at call options. So because I'm bullish on it. So I call up, put down. So just kind of remember that for options. That's the way to go on that. Let's go back to SPY, see what it's doing. Oh, on the daily. Like, what's wrong there? Okay, so still forming a dip. We're going to wait for this dip to be over before entering. TCAT. You know, I got some time. Let's take a look at good old TCAT. I know nothing about it. Takong Art. Is this a Chinese stock? I think this is a China stock. $70. Nope. Okay. Well. Ooh, liking this action here. It's looking good, definitely on the minute chart. Let's take a look at the 5-minute. It's bullish on the 5-minute also. 30-minute. That is good right there. That is good. This is not so great, but we have been way overheated back here, so that's nothing new. Okay, so let's go to the hourly. Bullish on the hourly. And extremely bullish on the daily. Although the time to enter would have been best, of course, right around here would have been the best time to enter. This is when it went into the golden cross. And so that would have been very good. And looking here, yeah, this thing's a rocket ship. So I don't know anything about this company. Haven't been following it or anything, but yes, technically, this is a great trade. You can do this as a swing or you can do it as a day trade. So entering here would have been a good entry point. Now that it's moved up past that, I would wait for it to form a dip because I think a dip might be coming. So this would not be the time to enter. You would want to wait for that to form, for to see red bars down here like this, and then when it turned over to green, that's when you would want to enter, as long as it was above VWAP. So you're really looking for two things together on that. When I'm trading an individual stock, I treat it a little different than trading the SPY. So I've still not gotten my indicator yet. Really interesting that I haven't gotten it yet. So just kind of, market does not have a direction yet, and I think that's why the indicator hasn't gone off. See how my overall stocks are doing this morning. Down just a little bit under 1%. Let's see what's hurting me. AMR is hurting me. And SCORE. And Eton. And PLX. Not cool. Okay. All right. Still waiting for the dip. That will be on till 9:30. Of course, hitting that like button really helps out these day trades and also this channel and this type of video. So if you haven't done so already, please hit it. I really appreciate it. And here we go. Okay. This can be so boring. To me, it's fun, and I have a passion for it, so it's not boring, but hopefully you do also. Okay. This is starting to look better. And bullish levels here are 392.50 which we're not even close to. An important level is 392.97, 393.34, 393.72. R1, resistance 1 is 394.45. Resistance 2, 396.31. Resistance 3, 398.55. Okay, getting really close to entry on this. Okay, well, we got this. So if we finish this candle green, and there goes my indicator for bullish. Okay, so let's start to take a look here. 394 options, calls for 4-1 for April 1st. And just got in at 257. $257 per contract on average is what I got in there, so that is good. Okay. All right, let's see this thing for a bullish run. Okay, so we got levels of this should do really well. Let's see how this does. Okay, so to review, got in on the $394 call options on SPY at 257. All right. Okay. Looking good. Looking good. This should be a great trade. All right, so our first level was 392.50 and hit that. So that is good. Now we're looking for new highs. We're also looking at the next level would be 392.97 would be a great level to hit on that one. Okay. It's always intense once you get in. Okay. And now that I'm in a trade, sorry, I'm not going to look up anything. I'll come back to it and I'll take a look here. So anything you guys want to look out once we're done with this trade, then we'll get out. So far, so good. It's at 273 currently. So, doing rather well. It's at 269 per contract at the moment. Just sit back and let it work. Okay, so to review, 392.97 is a key level there. 392.68 is our previous high. So now we're looking for a break above 392.68. Okay. It's currently at 260. It's totally normal to see a pullback like this after a nice run like that. So a little 1 minute pullback. This is nothing to be concerned about. Okay. So waiting for this to break above. All right. Now, when I'm in a day trade, man, it's all I focus on. So, this is my focus here. So right now it's negative 0.06 on the SPY at the current levels that it's at. And so this should be a nice run up here. 392.97 is the next target for me. And also getting a new high of 392.68 is key. With those yields down, the market's going to want to go higher. There I go, giving emotions to stocks again. So you know they hate that. Yeah, I'm a dad, I tell jokes. That's what I do. All right. Okay. Well, hopefully all of you got in on this, got a good entry point. See what we can't do. All right, little consolidation going on here. I'm going to double check yields while I'm waiting here. 10-year down. So that's good. 5-year down. 30-year down. So far, the market is, the S&P is down a little. Dow is down the most. And NASDAQ is down just a tiny bit. There's going to be some nervousness definitely with the market today. All right, here we go. Maybe we can get a nice boost right here. Here it goes higher. 392.68 is breaking that new high is a big deal. All right, excellent. Now we're starting to move higher. New high. Yay, 392.73. Looking good. Okay, next level. 392.97 is what we're looking to break through. Breaking through that is really, really key. 392.97. And the S&P has gone positive. Wonderful. We've gotten rid of all the nervous Nancys. And 392.97. I apologize if your name is Nancy out there. Okay, so this is at 273. 257 was my entry. Hopefully you guys got somewhere close to that. All right. So watching this trade right now, feel free to put in your requests there. As soon as this trade is over, then I will be looking at anything you want me to look at. I'll take a look at it and at least tell you my opinion. Not that the market or the stock cares about my opinion, but at least give you my opinion on a different stock and a different move. Okay. 392.97. That's what we need. This thing is working nicely. Got some really good price strength here. Sitting up nicely in this trade so far. So hopefully I will definitely be looking at KIDS here as soon as this trade is over. KIDS, I have a lot of money in, so that is one that if it's getting rejected, as long as it doesn't form a double top, I think it's good. But so far, I'm not having the best days on the market, but my day trade's doing good. That's the reason why I do these. It's because positive or negative, you can play the market in either direction, and so I do like to day trade options for really nice gains on the SPY. And all right, little resistance there at 392.83. I will take it. It's okay. We're getting a nice little, we're getting a little 1 minute pullback. 392.97 is that next level we're looking for. Of course, breaking the new high of 392.83 is very bullish also. Okay, I like the looks of this candle specifically. All right, time for a new high. All right, 392.77. Come on. Like I'm rooting for the stock, you know, like it's sports ball or something. Been hearing that term a lot lately. I've been watching I've been watching Billions. So very entertaining if you're looking for a good show. Okay. All right, so this is narrowing just a tad bit, so this is something to watch here. What I suspect will happen is that this will curl further up. All right, now let's see if it gets rejected at 392.83 as it moves up, or if it just powers on through to move higher. Okay, now we're getting close. 392.83. So what's it going to do? Let's take a look at the level 2 here. I don't see anything that sizable. Nothing huge anyway. More huge orders on the buy side than the sell side. A new high, even if it was just for a second, 392.84. Kind of got rejected at that level, didn't it? And it was only a penny higher. Not liking that, but let's see what happens. All right, let's push through here. And it's just riding this SMA. Look at that, just bouncing right off of it. Nothing huge over here. $392.84, looking for a move to $392.97. Come on, let's get through this. The next level after 392.97 is 393.34. And that would be pretty great. But breaking 392.84 is a big deal. Okay. That's right there. Oh, new high. All right, excellent. So now to 392.97 we go. All right, 392.89. $392.97. Come on, push through. I like how it's just turning up slowly here. So this is nice. All right, so we passed right through that level at 392.97. So that is really, really good. We passed right through 392.50, 392.97. Now the next level is 393.34. And see how those levels are just so key? Why? Because where did this end? Just really close to that level. And so these levels are key. Resistance 1, resistance 2, resistance 3, certain percentages above. These are all things that I kind of track and take a look at. All right, 393. It's our previous high. Let's break that. Might be kind of fun. Let's go to 393.34. All right, 289 was the last trade on our SPY. So far up 12.4%. Nice trade. This is working out very, very well. I can, as soon as this trade is over and after I answer the other questions that people are asking, I will definitely kind of share with you how I get resistance 2, resistance 1, resistance 3. And then also talk about how I form. The problem is the other levels have to do with the upper Bollinger Band of the MACD. And because now the market is open, I get those levels in pre-market. Now that the market is open, it's going to be hard for me to show how to do that. But it has a lot to do with the upper bands and lower bands of the MACD in the morning when I'm setting up everything and going through my different levels. That's how that's determined. That's how I came up with the 392.50 to be that first level. But now that market's open, I can't exactly show that. So maybe remind me for tomorrow and I might take a look at that. But I can show you the other levels, how I get R1, R2, and R3. All right, watching this. 393 is our previous high. Little psychological level there, passing the newest level, but it now being up for the day is a good thing. All right, so concerns. Well, RSI a little bit, but this little tiny pullback has provided us with a little bit more upside moving upwards. We're getting really close here, so this is something to watch. This could just be a tiny little dip. We will wait for this to form and see if we need to find an exit point. It just got rejected at 393. So it's 921. Okay. Really temporary dip, maybe. Okay. All right, I am Okay, so I exited at 276 just now. So 276 was my trade. Let's see. Now it doesn't show the percentages anymore, so that was my average exit was 276, and then divided by 257 was my entry point for a 7.4% gain. Meh, that's okay. You know, 9% gain yesterday on that trade, a 7.4% gain here today. I'll take it. Sounds good to me. All right, let's take a look at some of the questions here. This, of course, could continue to rally. I really hope that it does, but we are at 923. And so right around 930, I become very nervous. And so put options would actually be a better idea. If the indicator, the price and volume indicator, said that put options was the way to go, that would be a great time for a put option here. But since we haven't, we didn't get those indicators, and actually 4 out of 5 of the indicators were bullish as we went through of the 5 things I look for to pick market direction for the morning. So now, you know, we could see a major pullback. We could not. We could go bullish all day. Who knows? But you know, I take my profits, and it's important to have levels. And with any strategy, you have an entry point and an exit point, and you enter when it says to enter, and you show the discipline to exit when it says to exit, even though it could go higher. You could think to yourself, oh my, I'm missing out. Well, it's more important to follow a strategy where you can repeat your gains over and over again. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten emotional when I was a younger investor, and even sometimes today I still deal with this, to where it's like, oh, it hit those indicators, but I think it's going to turn around. No, it's just best to have that, and I've been burned by that in the past. The indicators were sell. Everyone else was looking at those indicators, and so it was time to sell. You know. Okay, well, hopefully you made money on that trade. If you're still in it, I wish you all the best, although I don't think that's a great idea. I would personally exit this just with everything going on in the market. The fear indicator's too low. It's like, we could see a little pullback after such a great day yesterday. I, of course, hope that the market goes way up. And I think the SPY could actually hit, mark my words, $404. I think that is a key resistance level. So I think that this third wave could get us all the way to 404 on the SPY. And so that is something to look for. That would be quite something, just kind of mapping this out. I think it's going to hit 404 and hit resistance, and then we're going to enter a correction for wave number 4 and move from there. That's just what I think. Mark doesn't care what I think, so I say that a lot. Okay, let's get into the questions that I missed. Okay, so John Lopez, you asked about TCAT. I already looked at. I don't think I looked at apps yet. I think that's where I'm at. So let's take a look at apps. Digital Turbine, traded on the NASDAQ. On the daily, this is very good. So this is what you're looking for. I expect a great day out of APPS today. Let's go to the 1 minute. You know, you would have wanted to enter right about here. This would have been a good entry point. It's above VWAP. We're showing momentum down here. The RSI is under control. Notice how the RSI got to 70 on the day on the minute chart, and bam, it got resisted. It got pulled down. It's extremely common. Doesn't mean that it's not going to continue to move upwards, but again, this is a tough time of day. This is the 9:30. So if you're looking at a day trade, if you're looking to swing, today sometime is a good time to enter. If you are looking for a day trade on this, then in my opinion, you would want to, of course, enter here, and then you're waiting it out to see what happens. You would still be in it. But that's just how I trade. And when I see these two go negative, or if I see the RSI get overly heated, like way heated, we're talking like 90%, then I look for an exit at that point. All right. Okay, to close the gap. I was mainly on SPY. I was looking for the gap down here, not necessarily the gap up above. I wasn't looking for a close of that. I'm a lot more sensitive with that because I'm trading options, and that's a little riskier. And so that's the reason why I'm really, really tight indicators of when I enter and exit. Hopefully that's what you meant. All right, Tup. Have a look at Solve. Long-term hold for me. Potential for swing trading. Oh, I like me a good stock. Let's see what we got here. Solve. OTC. Penny stock. I love me some OTC. Okay, it's almost impossible to look at an OTC on the 1 minute chart. So let's go to 5 minute. Yeah, good entry point here, right there, or even here is that same level. So if you could get in at 1267, that looks really good. The 30 minute is bullish. 1 hour, bullish. Daily, bearish. So for a swing trade, I would, of course, look here for entry point here, and then for exit point, based upon the close, this would have happened right around there. So entry right around 11:58, and then exit would have probably been somewhere in this day at 12:49, which would have been a good little trade. Could be seeing a dip here on the daily, so that's one thing to look for. And when I trade OTCs, I'm really looking at the daily. Daily is the most important thing. Okay. Kids. Oh, wait. Got more here. What is your exit point for SPY? Okay, so I cover this a lot, and so then I take that for granted. Let me go to the 1 minute on the SPY. Okay. Isn't that funny? Stinking 9:30. 9:30 Central Time, depending upon what time zone you're in. It is like clockwork. Look at this. You could just literally set up every single day, and you could go, oh, I'm going to do a put option here. And your chances are really, really high once you're close to it, that when you start to see that negative crossover here, that now it's time to get out. And so that's just so common. That happens all the time. So anyway, it's interesting that it's looking like that. But to answer your question for exit point, okay, so I was just good old chart watching. Still more potential, still more potential, still more potential. And I'm really paying attention to this down here. But when I saw this, it was like, time to get out. And so I waited for this full candle to form, if you remember. And then I exited here, and we got a nice little pushback upwards here that helped me to exit for a really nice 7.4% gain. So that's what I was looking for. And now it is dipping. Yes, it did have this move upwards. Again, this is my strategy. And it's literally when I see this yellow line cross below here, I'm looking for an exit point. And when I see the yellow line that's below it, and I see it cross above this bluish purplish line, then I'm looking for an entry point. And I avoid certain times of the day for call options for sure. And that time is 9:30 to 10:30 is awful for call options. So if you're looking at a good value to get into call options, typically the after the market has been open 2 hours is going to be some of your best prices of the day. If you're looking to enter something. So a lot of times if I'm looking at a call option and I'm thinking a month to 2 months out, if I'm looking at a longer term swing, I'm looking to enter during that time. Okay. Please check A, B, and B. Yeah, let's look. A, B, and B. Airbnb. Oh, yeah. This is definitely a recovery play, in my opinion, right now with different recovery stocks going. Right at the moment, it's not having a good time. So that's not a good time. 5-minute chart. Bearish. 30-minute. Bearish. Hourly chart. Let's take a look at hourly. Bearish. Okay, daily. Daily is bearish also. I would not buy, and this is just me, and I would not buy A, B, and B at this moment. Why? I don't like to swing stocks that are showing momentum to the downside, and that is exactly what's happening here. And so for that reason, at this moment, I would wait for Airbnb to finish dipping. If you really like this stock and you're thinking long term, if you wait it out, you're going to get a better price, because I am expecting a dip here going there. So that is one for that one. Okay, kids. Yesterday at resistance. Boy, I hope not. But yes, you might be correct. Kids might be having a rough time. Poor kids. Okay. The daily is very bullish. The daily is showing this is a perfect entry point. Insider activity happened right around here. This is where the insider activity happened on this one. This is an insider swing that I've been talking about, and was covered in the insider video that came out on Monday, that came out yesterday. And so kids, has reacted well to that. I do think it's going to continue upwards, but yes, it was rejected here. Let's take a look at the 30-minute. Let's see if we can catch any double tops or anything like that. But yeah, it was really rejected here for sure. So the 30 minutes very bullish, or bearish, excuse me, very bearish, not looking good. The 5-minute. Oh, well, that's nice right there. This was a great value down here on the 5-minute. So this is looking positive. Hopefully we see a recovery here. Down 3.52%. I'm still a holder, waiting for that to finish out. So I still think it's okay. Yes, it's not great, of course, you know, getting that rejection like that, but and we're seeing that negatively here. But, you know, we're seeing some positives here too in the daily. So yes, it dipped, but then now it's really coming back. So I'll let it cook. See if it can't get us a better result. But the daily is still bullish here. So I think that even though we've taken a major pullback here, I think it should go higher based on the insider activity. Okay, look at Canadian company Peak Fintech, PKKFF, about to uplist the NASDAQ. That is an extremely positive, thing to go to the NASDAQ. So today, down a little bit, not much. Looking like, or on the daily, actually, this daily is negative. I don't. Let's see here. Let's go to the weekly. Okay, well, it's seeing some resistance. I think that it going in the NASDAQ is very, very positive. But I would wait for this, before entering, I would wait for this dip to fully form. It's not formed yet. We got a 46 in the RSI. It could go much lower. So I would hesitate at this moment to get into this. But that is a very good catalyst and a very good eye. And so I think Miles, that if you're already in it and you're way up in it, you know, and you wanna hold and you have a longer term, you know, looking at this weekly, I would start to become concerned that some of the best prices is what we've seen. But you might wait for a dip to fully form and then enter, especially on the daily. So anyway. Okay, so that's that one. Massive deals in China. Well, that's definitely a good long-term view. It's just not showing the resistance. It's not showing a recovery yet on the daily, and so that's what makes me think there. How I selected levels. Yes, I wanted to cover that. So let me pull this up. Let me grab my pivot point calculator. Okay, so this is a pivot points calculator that I use and have had and use very regularly. This helps do the math for me, and so I like easy, especially since I'm looking at so many different stocks. I want to make sure and map out these levels, and so you go to the previous day. The previous high on the SPY was 394.07. The previous low was 389.97, and the close was 392.59. You literally hit calculate, and it calculates all those levels for you. And so this is something I like to use. Of course, it's got tons of ads on it because it's a free thing. But anyway, and so that's how I, 398.55, 396.31. That's how I knew resistance 1 at 394.45. Pivot point 392.21. And us being above the pivot point, 392.50 is kind of what I looked for. Support 390.35, support 2, 388.11, and so on and so forth. And so that's how I have that. And so then I have this just pulled up on my computer, and I just use it all the time. And so then I'll just hit reset and put in my levels for the next day. So today's whatever today's high, tomorrow I will put right there that price, then low there in the close, and then I'll calculate and go from there. Anyway, that is how I come up with those levels. That's how I come up with those levels, if you're wondering. So that's how I do that. All right, let's go back to YouTube. I lost my YouTube. Live stream. Okay, great. Here we go. And then in the pre-market on the SPY, I am looking at the upper and lower bands on the minute chart. Wow, look at this thing dip. Should have bought a put option. Bummer. But oh, that's unfortunate. But anyway, again, that's what I knew was going to happen. That's why a lot of times, if you are bearish on the market, man, wait till an hour after the market is opened, and then, especially if it flashes up green in those first 10 minutes, just wait it out. Wait for it to get higher, and then you can do this. I think this is temporary. I am bullish overall on the market. I do believe that we're in those wave 5, but here's what happens. The big boys come in, and they actually have people hired, and that their total job is to stop people out of positions, and they're trying to stop people out of positions. Well, if they're trying to stop people out of positions, and this happens nationwide all at the same time after that first hour, trying to get a good price so then the big boys can come in and buy the dip. And so there are actually people who are bonused on, they're trying to stop out other people. And so you see all these stop losses. I'm not a fan of stop losses because this can just happen to you. I'm a fan of looking at the chart and knowing what day is good to get in and what day is good to get out. I have a swing trader kind of mentality as far as that goes. All right. Thanks, Chris. I appreciate it. Oh, yeah, that calculator. Where is it? Pivot points calculator. It's easycalculation.com/finance/pivot points. Here, let me just move this back up here so you can kind of see it right here. I don't know if you can see it right here. easycalculation.com/finance/pivot-points-trading.php. And so that's where I get that, and it's free. So free resource, there's lots of different ones that you can look at, but that's the one I like to use. It's on easycalculation.com. I had to search like crazy to find it once I was in the app, so it's really important that the /finance/pivot. I don't see anywhere where I can share it, but anyway, that's what I like to use. So, all right, I am going to, all right, CLPT closed. Let's take a look here. Hopefully I'm not going to be sick to my stomach here. Clear point Nero. Okay. This will be the last one I look up. Clear point Nero. That's bullish right there. Seeing that right there. I think it could move much higher based on that data. Quite a bit lower. Yeah, all the way down. And it's down 7% today. So that looks like a golden opportunity to get in. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, this is looking like a golden opportunity. I would wait for this dip to be done on the minute chart and wait for it to start moving upwards. And then once you see this green, that might be a great point to show entry point. And also on the daily, it's looking like this is a good time to load. So this stock is at a good point. All right. So with that, oh yeah, I said yesterday it wanted to go and it did. Well, that's good. I didn't invest in it though, which I probably should have, but it looked really good for sure. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and sign off, and I will see you all tomorrow. Hope all of you have a fantastic trading day, and Raythoven out.